Sarah Scout, who's a First Nations activist, gave a very good testimony raising issues of Section 35 in the Canadian Constitution, which should kick into her because she's erected a teepee in Olympic Plaza. And so obviously the Canadian Constitution doesn't say you have the right to assemble, but only between the hours of 5 a.m. and 11 p.m. It would appear that the Canadian Constitution doesn't specify a time limit on one's freedom of assembly, and I think that the judge is quite aware of that, and so I think that the city's case is one that's going to fall down and like a house of cards, and so one can only be pleased about that. I think that it was very admirable how people gave testimony today and defended their rights and stood up for themselves in that regard. I think it was pretty admirable. So Sarah Scout, how are you feeling after providing the testimony that you gave just now in the Calgary Court Centre?
I'm feeling a little bit nervous because of my time in court, I wasn't able to report to my PO officer today, and it looks like they've shut down the building. Yeah. So, but they didn't give me a time on my reconnaissance. Yeah. An actual time to report. They just said I have to report today. Yeah. So technically, I could be arrested at any time.
Yeah. Well,
speaking to you right now.
Well, I think the point
that I'm in breach of my reconnaissance.
Well, I think the point of you erecting a teepee in Olympic Plaza, I think the whole point is that you have Aboriginal rights under Section 35 of the Canadian Constitution, which asserts that the Canadian government's obliged to uphold and affirm Aboriginal and treaty rights, and so you expressed that to the judge today in a very lucid way. And so how do you feel as an Aboriginal person being told that perhaps you won't be allowed to erect a teepee in the Olympic Plaza?
It disappointed me, but at the same time, with my arrest, my teepee is still standing, my urban teepee is still standing, and with everything that's happened regarding my arrest and the abuse of my hand, the community, not only the Occupy community has opened up their love and support, but also the Indigenous community of the city, the province, this nation, North America, and the world, basically has been writing me and sending me prayers and love and all of these things. And my friend, Nicole LeChapelle, who's my Métis sister, who also has been protesting alongside of me, she has actually offered to move in and occupy my urban teepee. Oh. So it still stands for now, you know, and I think whatever happens, if I'm not allowed to watch it when it actually does get taken down, if it does get taken down, I hope it does get filmed and there's lots of pictures. You know?
Yeah, well, thank you for everything you're doing, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
Yeah, love you too. Keep going. Okay. We're all proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
Keep going, all right? So do you have anything to say, brother?
Oh, amen. And I actually feel like the canary in the coal mine's still alive and ticking, so it gives me faith that parts of our system are still working properly, and all we really need to do is just keep the pressure on and continue to look for positive change. And I think it's actually something that unfortunately might not have been found in all of the cities across our country, but it does seem that it is apparently alive and well in at least a few of our cities in Canada.
Yeah, the judge was showing skepticism towards what she was saying, and I think that's what's making everyone feel quite enthusiastic.
And in respect to that, we do feel like we absolutely got a fair shot at things today. So
yeah, great.
We're happy.
You want to say anything, guys? I'm going to maybe make a YouTube. Any comments?
This is our media. Like, go hard.
Yeah, I'm a
on the road to Gitmo.
Yeah,
to the real media.
Yeah, I'm a human being. I'm not.
He's real media.
I'm a reporter, not a repeater. Yeah. Thanks, brother. You want to give us some words of wisdom, bro?
Josh, that was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the judge seemed to be showing skepticism towards what she was saying.
He was, but you know what? The truth still lies in our system, Josh. We found that out today because of all of the things that we've experienced.
Yeah.
We're not lawyers. We're not legally trained. We got up there and spoke from our heart.
Yeah.
And he heard that. And that's why he's taken the weekend to think about it.
Yeah, and then Sarah Scout seemed to have exposed the city's lawyer as having propagated a falsehood, where the city said we haven't yet arrested anyone for obstructing a court, whereas 3,000 people have seen the YouTube of Sarah Scout being arrested for obstructing a police officer, which would imply that the city was spreading myths during those proceedings.
Yeah, there was some stuff that came out for sure, but I think the biggest thing that happened for us, Josh, was that we got a judge with a heart and somebody that still has open ears, and he wasn't closed to the process.
Yeah.
Because we were, like I said, we're not trained, but we are telling the truth, and the truth lies in our system.
Well, and the thing is, I think the point of protest is we're constantly analysing the system, and so in a way, people like you are people who can educate the judge on what's going on outside these four walls, which is, you know, they're a big important part of the system, the judiciary, right? I mean,
well, the judge was talking about putting a tent up out there, so I think we should put him up next to Professor Hall. They can hang out.
Yeah,
they'd be good buddies, eh?
Yeah, we've got a prof now. All we need is a judge.
Yeah, we're starting to build our new infrastructure.
He's probably a stoner.
I guarantee he must be.
Morning. Do you want to give me a few words, Tavis?
Today, like inside this courthouse, these scales of justice, we had the City of Calgary presented us with a literal heavy burden, a stack of paper like this, of tickets and bylaw and police reports, of invoices and statements.
Yeah.
And all we had was this little beautiful piece of paper here, Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and clear conscience. And I'd say today that the scales of justice tipped in our favor. Let's go this way. But now outside this courthouse, society, all of us confront the same scales.
Yeah.
We're confronting a similar scale of corporate power, of debt slavery, of control by the 1%, of injustice, inequity, of an economy that casts us out. And all we have on the other side of that is the idea of a fierce idea of participatory democracy,
collectivism,
of community, of compassionate economy, and of a real and vibrant future for the children of man and the children of Mother Earth.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I think the point is, Tavis, that the Canadian Charter doesn't say we have freedom of assembly between the hours of 5 a.m. and 11 p.m. It doesn't say we have freedom of assembly for 1 day or 1 week or 1 year, and due to the fact they don't specify a time, it would imply that the City of Calgary has been enshrining unconstitutional, illegal laws, would it not?
If we can't, Section 1 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms says that it asserts, guarantees the rights and freedoms set out and is subject only to such reasonable limits prescribed by law as can be demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. And if we cannot meet in our public spaces, in our public parks, and engage in vibrant public forum without risk of eviction or of conviction or of being thrown in jail. And if the City of Calgary or any city tries to enforce these things and tries to get rid of us, then how can they be the arbiter of a free and democratic society?
And if they're not the arbiter, then who is the arbiter? Does it mean we have to go to the UN? What is the litmus test to decide what is a free and fair society? I think the litmus test is the UN Millennium Goals. And if we look around the world, one of the best countries, probably the best country with respect to meeting these, or potentially meeting these goals, is Venezuela. And if we look at the way that their constitution was crafted, they had thousands and thousands of people get together in general assemblies, people's assemblies, to talk and engage about what they wanted in their constitution. And that's what we need here. And that's why we're calling for a vibrant public forum, to get people downtown, but in their own neighborhoods too, to engage and build those people's assemblies. So maybe one day we might get to the point where we craft our own people's constitution.
And then link politics to the economy. I think your analogy with Venezuela is very apposite, because they have tar sands oil just like Alberta, and it would appear that whereas in Venezuela the resources are redistributed to the people, the obverse is true in this part of the world. I'm just going to go and see what's going on here, brother, okay? Thank you.
You mentioned in your argument that the World Junior Hockey Championship wanted to set up a tent and there was a family caravan and they're reconsidering setting up there?
No, I don't think the evidence was quite that strong. What it is, I believe it's on New Year's Day. There's a hockey day in Calgary that's scheduled to be in the plaza, and it is tied into the World Junior Hockey Championships, and there was some concern expressed about, I think it's the merchandise tent, they didn't want to have right next to where the tents are. Of course, there's also live television broadcasts that are going to occur and all of that, and so part of the question was, does the city have to allow the tents to remain throughout all of those events?
Did you spread a falsehood when you said no one had been arrested for obstruction, whereas our friend Sarah Scout here her testimony seemed to contradict what you told the court? Had you spread a falsehood in court as alleged?
I did not, no. What I said was that the city could have up until now enforced its bylaw by asking for compliance with it, and when that did not occur, we could have charged them with obstructive peace officer.
Yeah.
That has not occurred. The fact that Ms. Scout was arrested on that charge for another issue unrelated to the Parks
But she's an occupier, so that's a false dichotomy, ma'am.
No, thank you very much.
But so you did or you didn't spread a falsehood?
I did not lie in court, no.
Okay. Well, that would seem that you had conflicting testimony.